Every living thing on our planet depends on another for survival. Around the world, different species live amongst each other, interact with each other and the environments in which they live in. Humans, of course, are a part of this web of life, and we depend on it just like everything else does. Plants produce the oxygen we breathe, and bees and other pollinators, well, they're needed in order to help crops grow, and fungi are needed in order to keep the soil healthy. And from the natural world, we get the fresh water that we drink and the medicines that we take when we're ill, and we get some pretty amazing views as well. Now, losing one species, that might not seem like a lot, but because everything is so connected, actually, it is a big deal. If something happens to one species, then it weakens the others, because there's a knock-on effect. Imagine, if you will, like a house, and someone takes a brick out of the house. It leaves the wall pretty weak. If more bricks were to disappear, the whole thing would come crumbling down. The scientific consensus is that for every living thing to do well on the planet, including us, the best thing is to have a wide variety of life living on it. That's called high biodiversity. Of course, right now, the future, sadly, is looking pretty bleak when it comes to biodiversity. Nature is doing badly. Scientists say that species are going extinct at a faster rate than we've seen for millions of years. Why is this? Well, it's all humans' fault. We're chopping down trees and clearing land and destroying habitats for farming, houses and industry. We're polluting our air, soil and water, and that's having a big impact on all the creatures that rely on them. From the illegal trade in wildlife to overfishing and hunting, animals are dying out. Humans have taken plants and animals to different parts of the world where they're not normally found, and that can have a devastating impact on the species that are already there. And adding to all of this pressure is climate change. Now, I appreciate that all of this news can sound incredibly overwhelming, but it doesn't mean that hope is lost. There are things that we can do and the government can do. Experts say that the governments need to do more. They need to do more to protect species. They need to do more to stop the illegal trade in wildlife and help preserve land for nature. There are things that we can do too. For instance, reduce the energy that we use, rely less on fossil fuels, recycle, reuse so that waste doesn't go into landfill, use more environmentally friendly products, only eat and buy the food that you need, and help pollinators, like bees, by planting things like wildflowers and plants local to the area you live in. The situation at the moment is being called nature's emergency, but humans aren't separate from nature. We're just as much a part of it as everything else. Whatever happens to nature, that can hurt us too.